Hey, welcome back. Today I'm going to draw this framing wall here in SketchUp. I'm using the free version of SketchUp. Some of the buttons might be different if you got the full version. But I'm going to draw this frame wall, show you how I do it. And one of the first things I do whenever I'm drawing anything in SketchUp, I definitely lock or I click on the view that I'm drawing in, right? So front views, top views, things like that over here in the scenes button. And I definitely always have parallel projection checked off. I don't want to draw in perspective, just, visually in SketchUp. It's just easier to lock yourself to parallel so that you're drawing in the orientation that you want to be moving in, right? So to start, I'm actually going to start by drawing the bottom sole plate down here, and I'll extrude it towards myself this way, right? So that means I'm actually going to switch to right elevation. So I'm going to be drawing down this corner here. I'm going to start by drawing the bottom sole plate. I know that they're not actually 2x4s are not actually 2 inches by 4 inches. I know that they are 1.5 by 3.5. But I'm going to draw this drawing here, this framing wall, with whole numbers just to make it easier. All right, so I'm going to pull this sole plate and it's laying flat, this stud. So looking in my bottom corner here, it looks like I'm doing height first. So I'm going 2, 4, enter, and there's the bottom sole, right? So I'm going to orbit around a touch just so when I extrude or press pull in SketchUp it's called, press pull in this direction, I'm going to go a full 16 feet. All right, so there is my bottom sole plate, right? Press pull is P, spacebar brings me back to the regular selection area. Now something I found to make my life much easier in SketchUp is to actually highlight the whole object whenever you're going to be working with it. Actually right click and make it a group. All right, so there's my bottom sole, and I'll be able to use this for my top plate over here. It's the same piece of lumber here. So by making a group, it's going to make it way easier to pull up top here. All right, so I have an 8-foot standard ceiling height going on over here. And you'll see here I have 1, 2, 3 pieces of lumber here. I said I'm using whole numbers here, so that's 2, 4, 6 inches. So this is actually the stud lengths here. Studs are going to be 7 feet 6 inches. All right, and I'll actually just type in the 7 feet 6. All right, so for the stud, and again for the same reason why I made this group before, I'm actually going to draw the stud a little off to the side, and then I'll pull it up. All right, again though, I'm going to snap to top because this time the stud's coming towards me. I'm going to press a rectangle this way in this orientation, and looking at my bottom, I'm going 2, 4, enter, spacebar, get back to regular selection arrow, orbit around just so I can see what I'm doing. P for press pull it up, and I'm going 7 feet 6 inches, enter. All right, so there's my first stud. And like I was mentioning before, I'm actually going to group this whole thing. It's going to make my life a whole lot easier when I'm moving things around. So make group. All right, so now I'm going to actually place the stud in the correct location. As you can see here, it's right along the edge. I don't have to do anything. I'm going to start from this right edge, going over to the left. You'll notice this left one here, I'm scooching it over a bit. Remember, stud placement from each other are 16 inches on center, which also means left face. Left face is also 16 inches as well. But let's move this guy into the correct place. And one of the easier ways to do that is I'm going to leave this guy over here so I have him to still use later on. So M for move. And to make a copy when you're in the move command, it's actually hit the control key, and you'll see a little plus sign on your arrow. I'm going to move it from this back corner here. Look, there you go. I'm now made 2. Hold shift, middle mouse with a pan, and I'm actually going to snap it to there at the end. All right. I'm going to change back to my front view because what I'm going to do next is an array in SketchUp. An array in SketchUp, or linear pattern, some software might call it, is to make this copy in the same spacing between it, going all the way to the end. All right, so I'm still in the move. That's how you're going to do this. And you're going to do the same thing as it just did, right, with the control. So you have the plus key. I'm going to do it from this back corner. I'm going to start moving and make sure you have that orientation. It might be a little tough to see, but I have the red dotted line right here going along and showing that I'm in the same plane, right? If I wasn't, it'd be up in the air. And this is also another reason why I'm always in parallel projection. All right, so I'm actually going to move this. The offset of it is 16 inches. So you can just type in 16. And without clicking on anything else to do an array here, I got to type in X times 12, right? I want 12 copies of it. So you can see in the bottom right corner there, I have an X12. That's making 12 copies of it. And there you go. Zoom out and zoom in. You'll see that my last one here is a little off, so I'm still on my move button. I can move and snap him to the end. So I now have all my studs oriented along my bottom sole plate with the same correct spacing in between, 16 inches, except for the one at the end here was a little closer. And I still have this stud available to me to use later on for the other piece of the lumber here, right? So this jack stud throughout the drawing here and here and here and here, holding up our headers. I can use my original stud to make those. All right, from here, let me do the top plates real quick. Double top plate, so it's just going to be the same thing that we've been doing here, the copy move. I'm gonna hit Control, hit the bottom corner here, move it up, snap to there. Bottom corner, move it up, there you go. There, now I have two double top plate. All my studs are laid out, and all I got left to do is my rough openings for the door and window. Moving right along. Let's look here. This door on the side here, 610 all set up for the header placement, which is actually a 2x6, so we'll have to draw those 2x6. Again, I'm going to use whole numbers, even though it's not true. And then my jack stud here is 610 from the base, though, right? It's below the sole plate. So I have to do 6 feet 10, but this length of this jack stud is actually going to be 6 foot 8 inches. All right, so I can go back over to here. I can take this guy here, right? And I'm going to right click on it and edit group. Look, when I'm editing the group, the whole thing goes gray, and just what I'm moving and orienting around is what is highlighted for me to change. So I can do it, edit it group separately over here and move it down, right? So I'm going to do the press pull, orbit a little bit here. Let me get on top of here and press pull it down. So before I was 7.6, and now I want to go down from 7.6 to 6.8, right? So that is how many inches? 7.6, 6 inches, plus another 4, so 10 inches. So I'm going to go down 10. So now, if I look at this, just to double check my work here, if I just draw a line real quick, or if I just measure it real quick, there to there, 6 foot 8 inches, right? So this jack stud now is the correct length for the rough opening for my door. So I'm going to again go to my move command. I'll do a control copy just so he's still there for me to use later on. Shift and middle mouse wheel pan, and I know that this guy is going here. All right, so now my jack stud is in place for a header to go on top of it and offset over. So the offset over, I can do the same thing I was doing for the studs. I can do that move, copy, or anything, right? And this guy is over 3 foot 2.5 inches. I mean, it's inside face to inside face. Okay, so when I move it over, I have to do what with that extra 2 inches, right? Because it's inside face here. I need to actually add 2 inches to this number because it's actually, when I offset it, it'll be from that face, right? So back over here, I'm in my move command still. I like to do it from the corners here. So control, click on this face, and now I'm being conscious that I'm still along this edge. And I said that, I'm going to double check my numbers here, it's 3 foot 4.5 inches. So 3 foot 4.5 inches, enter. And that's where it's placed my jack stud. You'll notice it's really close to this other stud here, which is, you know, fine. That's how this drawing is laid out. So you'll notice there's that jack stud. I need to place another stud here next to it to fill in this gap, to have that gap. So I can just go and make a copy of my previous stud, so this guy here, and place them down next to it. So let me get to the bottom again, just easier to work from corners. Whoopsies. Didn't have the control plus sign, and place them right there. So that should be correct. I have two studs next to each other, yes, but they are supporting the jack stud. These would be king studs, they're called. I can draw my header now, and then I can edit these studs to just be my cripple studs for the rough opening for the door. All right, so let's go ahead and draw our header off to the side again. It just find it easier. Let me just snap to make sure my view is oriented correctly so that I'm drawing my header in the correct plane. These headers that we're using for this drawing are 2x6s. Sometimes they're 2x8s, 2x12s. It might go all the way up, so you don't even need cripple studs. But these are 2x6s, so let's draw 2x6s. So a rectangle, 2x6. Oh, but I need to know my length. My length here, let's go back here. 3 foot 2.5, but another 2 inches that way, another 2 inches that way. So this is actually going to be 3 foot 2.5 plus 4 inches, so 3 foot 6.5 inches. So this orientation is 6 inches up, but it's doing the width first. So as I said, it was 3 foot 6.5 inches, comma 6 inches. Enter. There's our header. I'm going to orient it myself sideways a little bit. Look at that in the plane. Press pull. I'm going to go that way. And we said we're keeping whole numbers, so I'm just going 2 inches. So there's my first header. You'll actually double this up on the jack stub here. There's 2 headers. So M for move button. Let me do another control move. So from the whoopsies, look what happens. Look, I didn't make it a group. That's what happens when you don't make it a group. So let me make the whole thing. Right click, make group. Now it'll move with it as one object. Control plus sign. Let's now place this right there. We have the first header there. I'm just going to move it around here. Click on my guy. Control again. Let's go from that face to there. So now I have double headers up here resting on the jack stud. They're the correct length. I have my king studs supporting it as well. And now we just have to edit these studs to be cripple studs up top. And we'll actually have to, let's look at it this way. So it's the same as the drawing. Add some cripple studs to the top of the jack studs as well. So you can see in this drawing, I have 2 here as well. And we can just copy and paste. All right. Moving right along. So let's go to this guy here, right click, edit group. I'm going to go press pull. Press pull from the base and snap them to right there. Look at that. Good job, team. Get yourself out of it and do the same thing for this one, or you can, since I'm going to have to make copies anyway, look at this. I'm just going to click on this guy, right? Do the control move for this guy again. Control, just move that one to there. And this time we'll do control, move this guy to there. And then we'll do on this guy now. Control, move this guy to there. Spacebar. Now we can just click on this guy and delete him since we had a second copy up there. Didn't have to worry about editing that group again. Saved me a whole 5 seconds at least. All right, so I have my cripple studs on top. We're moving right along here. Ooh, look at this. I forgot to do the rough opening on the bottom here, so we can do that now. So I'll go ahead and click on this. Right click, edit group. We'll scooch it around. We'll do press pull from here. We'll snap to there. Check mark. Go ahead and move, copy him. Control, click to there. Spacebar. There he is. Edit group. It's over here now. P for press pull. And we'll snap that to that face. There you go. All right, so I just made a copy. Press pulled this guy to there, made a copy, put him back there, and press pulled him back to there. All we have left is the rough opening for the window. I believe to make things a little easier, I just kind of copied or counted studs over. So I think I was just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 6th stud over is where I just put the jack stud for the window and did my fun opening here. So we can take our jack stud from before and place it at our 6th stud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one right here. All right, so we have 2 there. So I'm going to go over here. Control. I'm going to be in the move command. M. Control from this corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with 2 there. There he is. And then we have the offset just like we did for the door, this rough opening for the window is 4.5 feet, but it's from inside face, inside face. So I got to add another 2 inches. So it's going to be 4 feet, 2.5 inches for that opening there. So I'll be M command or move command to right. I'm going to offset this guy from this corner, control, click. I already forgot my number. It was 4 feet. That's an inches sign, feet, and 2.5 inches. Enter. There's my jack stud for the window. And then I need another king stud there as well. So I can just go ahead and click on this guy here, M for move, and I will move him from here. So control, there to there. All right. So I also need another header for this guy. This guy, though, the header length is longer. I could just make a new header instead of doing math. That always sounds good to me. So let's change back to front, rectangle, click and drag. This header from the previous number is 4 feet plus 4 inches, 4.5 inches. So 4 feet, 4.5 inches by 6 inches. So 4 feet, 4.5 inches, comma 6. And then we will press pull this guy 2 inches as well. Make my group, right click, make group. And now I can move this from here, M command, control. Let's do it from this corner again. Hopefully we did our math right and it lands up perfectly. It does. Let's double them up. Do it from here, control, there to there. All right, we'll do the same thing with the cripple studs up there as we did before. They're even the same ones. I can just copy and paste those over, which is probably what I'll do. But let's worry about the sill first. The sill in the drawing, this is saying 3 foot 6 inches up from the actual sole plate, so it will be actually 3 foot 6 inches up on to the base of the sill, right? So we could do this a few ways. Might as well just draw a new stud, right? Or just take one of these studs and pull them over. But again, math. So let's just draw a new stud in the area we've been drawing things and make it, the height of this stud is going to be what? It's going to be 3 foot 4 inches since we have a stud there. All right, so back over here. I should draw from the top view, rectangle here. We don't want it to be snapped to that, so I just make sure I'm not in that, and it's going to be 2.4, enter. And then this guy, as I said, I'm going to press pull him, whoopsies, press pull him up 3 foot 4 inches, 3 foot 4 inches, enter. So there he is. And then make sure you make them a group. I like the whole thing. Right click, make group. So the placement of these studs here, the short ones for the sill, are in the exact same locations as the previous studs, or the studs that are already existing. And so are the cripple studs, except for one extra here above the jack stud. I'm actually going to do the cripple studs first, just because I already have them there. And then I'll place the shorter studs underneath as well, all in the same location. So I'll just do a copying and pasting from the exact same spots, right? So I already have this cripple stud here. So I can just do M for move, control to be making that copy. And then let's just place this guy there. And then let's do the same thing. Control, click, move, control, click, move, control, click, move. All right. And then I don't need one there. Close enough. And then here's our guy down here. Let's actually click on this guy. Control with the move command. And then I'm going to place these all along where I have the previous ones, right? So I need one here. Control, click, there, control, click, there, control, click, there. Space where I get back to normal, and then I can just delete this previous studs, and I'm almost there with my rough opening. The only thing I'm missing is the sill, which I can just actually do another one of those control copies from here. Snap it to there. Let's right click on it, edit the group, P for press pull this guy, whoop, 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 to there. All right. And there you go. There it is. It looks like I have the full framed wall. Last thing would be dimensions, which are down here. Dimensions and text. So once you click on them, they'll show up. Just go ahead and dimension this thing. See how things are looking. Should match our drawing. Looks like we've been doing things all right. And then you can go ahead and put, labels on everything. 2 by 6 header. All right. That's it. Good luck. Have fun.